So, are you looking to increase your credit score immediately? Well, I'm going to give you 5 tips that will get your score moving in no time at all. So, if you're interested, keep watching. So, let's talk about the first tip, utilization. Utilization, what does that mean? Well, it's a fancy way of saying how much you owe the credit card companies the day that your statement closes. And why this matters is the more money that you owe out of the percentage of your available credit, the higher your utilization is. So what does that mean? It means that let's say you have a $1,000 credit limit and the day that your statement closes, you owe $500. Well, of course, you're going to pay the $500 when the statement comes in the mail, but when it is reported to the credit bureaus, you owe half of your available credit. Well, that becomes a risk for credit card companies because it's like, hey, this person owes half of their available credit. They've borrowed half. So what you can do is you can actually pay your statement or most of your statement before your closing date. So say in this example that your closing date is on the 15th. Well, you would want to make that payment maybe around the 12th to 13th, maybe even to the 14th. And that way, the day that it reports to the credit bureaus, which is either the closing statement day or a couple of days after, your utilization is a lot lower. So a quick way to add lots of points back to your credit score, because remember, utilization is a huge chunk of your credit score. So if you're constantly carrying high utilization, what that means is you're leaving lots of points on the table even when you're paying your statement off because the credit bureau is reporting that you're borrowing a lot of money every month. So pay your statement down before it closes and increase your credit score. Tip number 2. Tip number 2 is ask for a credit increase. You can absolutely ask for a credit limit increase. Remember, we just talked about utilization, which is the percentage that you owe on your available credit. So a quick way to even help with utilization is to raise your credit limit. And guess what? Lots of credit card companies do not even do a hard pull, which is running your credit to increase your limit. Lots of them do what we call a soft pull. Your credit card companies are constantly running your credit every month in the background. So a soft pull is kind of a record of what they find. So, perfect example, Discover, American Express. They don't even run your credit when they ask you for a credit limit increase. You're just actually able to go in, log into your account, credit limit increase. Capital One is the same way. Chase is a hard pull, so definitely keep that in mind. But go ahead. Ask for a limit increase and see what happens. You'd be shocked how many times you can get one. And I would recommend not asking for one more than once every 6 months, but certainly take advantage of that opportunity of it and watch your credit score increase as your credit increases. So, tip number 3, authorized user. Do you have somebody in your family that has a strong credit history that's willing to add you as an authorized user? Remember, being an authorized user doesn't even necessarily mean you have to have a physical possession of a card, but it absolutely does put you on your account. So if you have a parent that has a long-standing credit history or a relative that's willing to give you a shot, adding you as an authorized user immediately gives you their credit history on that particular account and profile. This is a great way to really increase and add points to your score. Parents, this is an excellent way to help establish credit for your own children. I have added both of my children as authorized users on multiple accounts so that when they entered the real world as adults, their credit was established. This was really evident when my 25-year-old son bought his car a few years ago, and he went in with almost an 800 credit score because he had been added as an authorized user on my accounts. So this is a great and easy way to boost, but definitely requires you to be responsible when you are becoming an authorized user. Dispute. Tip number 4. You can actually dispute anything on your credit, whether it's legitimately there or not. Now, what I will say is if you legitimately owe debts and you dispute those, absolutely expect the car companies to come back and say, hey, this is when you didn't pay us, because it's a legitimate thing that's on your credit. However, they only have 30 days to do so. And sometimes, especially when debt is old, it's just not worth it to the companies to fight it and dispute it, and they won't. And so you've got 30 days on the clock where if they don't, they have to remove it. So it definitely doesn't hurt to do it. However, I will say this, definitely have integrity with what you do, but definitely take advantage of the opportunities that are out there to dispute the things on your credit. You would be surprised on how removing just 1 or 2 bad marks on your credit can totally change your credit. As a matter of fact, removing 1 can really help your credit score jump. So, dispute everything on your credit that you don't believe should be there. So, what's another tip? Even if you dispute something that's legitimate, that doesn't stop you from asking for a Goodwill removal. You can actually write or email a Goodwill letter. A Goodwill letter is basically you telling the credit card company, hey, maybe when I was younger I messed up or I didn't pay you, but now I am a well-established adult who is trying to get my credit up, trying to get my credit history. I understand maybe you were going through an illness, a divorce, just a life situation. I mean, COVID really wreaked havoc on a lot of people. So a Goodwill letter basically says to that company that you understand and you are asking would they consider removing that mark from your credit report. That is immediately going to increase your credit score. If they do so, you would be shocked at how many they do. Years ago, when I was going through a divorce and my credit took a hit, I just simply wrote a Goodwill letter to General Motors about one of my car notes, and they absolutely removed it. So I can tell you 100% that it works. If you need examples for Goodwill letters, just type in Google Goodwill credit letter, and there'll be tons of examples on the internet. And that is a easy way to increase your score if it gets removed. So those were some simple, easy tips to get your credit score moving in no time at all. Definitely, I would hit utilization before I do anything else and ask for a credit limit increase. That's something that you can get done and do like today, and you would be surprised how quickly that can impact your score. All of those other tips are also equally as awesome, so definitely try them out if you're looking to add credit points to your score. You can definitely take advantage of those opportunities. I am a believer because they have worked for me, so I know they will work for you. Now, if you're interested in all things credit, how to use your credit to travel for free, how to use your credit, how to budget, and all those things, definitely hit that subscribe button, because on this channel, we're talking about how you can totally take control of your finances and make your hard work for you. So with that being said, I will see you later.